Hi.
We're back.
That was so crazy.
Yeah, we just had a complete blackout over here.
Complete blackout. Like I was in the middle of talking. What is that? I was in the middle of talking about the measles.
Right.
And then literally, like the world just shut us. Like everything just blacked out. I don't know what that means and what the sign is for that, but.
All right, let's get
wow,
back to
that was
this.
intense.
Yeah, let's trying to get back.
Oh God.
No. Let's just move in between screens. Everything's back to normal.
I'm scared now. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay. What I was going to do was I was trying to find that fucking Brady Bunch.
That's what we were trying to do. We were trying to show you guys the fucking Brady Bunch clip and then the Law and Order SVU clip, which is wild.
How do you spell measles?
MEASLES? Measles?
MEASE.
No, MEASLES.
Something's going on with those computers.
Yeah, something's going on. I wouldn't be surprised. We could easily shut
down
again. I don't know. It might be time for a new Mac.
Well, I just updated. Oh man, my mic is over here too, and you're not even hearing me. What a mess this is.
A mess
what
right now.
A fucking mess. Never gonna find this. All right, let's just. What did you want to fucking talk about before?
I
mean,
mean,
we got 2 minutes.
I basically told them the whole video, but yeah, it was.
The other thing. Didn't you want to talk about something else?
No, I know, but like you were trying to find the video, and it's like I already told them exactly what was going on. The Brady Bunch and Law and Order.
But it really makes a way better impact when you watch it.
It does. Maybe you guys can find it out there in.
It's just this thing's not even
land. But anyway, the other thing that I actually really wanted to get into, since now we're up and running, so I've like always had this really strong passion to work with like the wrongfully convicted. I still do to this day. I've tried several times to try and get into many nonprofit places just to kind of even like, I mean, I'll even do that shit pro bono, like I don't even have to get paid. So anyway, I go on and I follow this this like, I guess I don't know what they're called, but this news outlet called Global Positive News. And I like them because everything that they post is just like, in my mind, like stuff that I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's wild, or like, oh my God, that's so interesting, or that's so amazing, or this or that. Like nothing's like negative and like catastrophic, So today I went on and saw this, which was wrongfully convicted man finally gets a not guilty verdict after almost 20 years in prison. So this guy, in 1995, he was just 16. Okay. And he was automatically sentenced to life in prison, but served about 18 years before his conviction was overturned in 2013. After 3 trials and numerous appeals, Villegas was found not guilty. Overwhelmed with emotion, he collapsed to his knees upon hearing the verdict. Imagine, first of all, let's like really like recap that, right? Like imagine being 16, and he was convicted of capital murder, actually. So 16, you're convicted of a crime that like, you're like, I didn't fucking do this. You get sentenced to life. Okay. Then you're trying to get it overturned the whole entire night. It's not working. You're trying to appeal. It's not working. And then now in 2025, you go try again, and you're probably at this point on your last leg. Like you're just like, I don't know if this is ever going to happen, but you're still keeping like faith and hope. And then they're like, oh, hey, actually, we, listen to everything all over again for the fucking umpteenth time, and you're actually not guilty. Like, what? That shit to me is crazy. And I firmly believe. Do you have the video? Because I want people to see the video of this man.
Oh, there was a video?
Yes, there's a video on there, and it is literally just the most like profound, just, oh my God, I can't even imagine.
All right. But then there was, the next slide over?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, everything is like still fucking slow, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, this is going to stop at some point, but let's get this video in. Let's
trying to move it over.
Really talk about this guy.
9th Judicial District, the state of Texas versus Daniel Villegas, number 94. C4-0D09328. Verdict Form B. We, the jury, find the defendant Daniel Villegas not guilty of... District Court of El Paso County, Texas, 409.
You know who's working the case? Was that what's his name? Rick was it Rick Dubin or who's that guy that
Right, the Dubin guy. He works for and I always block on this. The oh my god. What is his organization called? It's like they're like so huge.
Yeah. Wrongfully convicted something.
No. Mark Dubin.
It's Mark?
Isn't well, you got me fucking saying Mark. Now you said Mark, but
I said Rick.
hold on.
We're the worst.
Wrongfully convicted organizations. It's like probably like it's like okay. There's the Innocence Project.
That's it. Jesus.
I know. Sorry.
Just dropped
The
a brick
Innocence Project. So right. So what I believe about cases like this, because they get me going, they get my heart going, I get really like passionate about it. How dare you you convicted me for life and took practically my whole life away. You took me away from my family, from my life, from my career, from my everything, and then you're gonna tell me that, hey, sorry, pal, sorry, we actually didn't do our job, and sorry that we took your whole life away, and I don't get shit from that. That pisses me off. You know what should be happening for every single person who's wrongfully convicted of something and then finally gets exonerated after like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years in prison? Each person should be given, at least by the government, okay, at least $1 million, at least. And I'm being nice when I say that. But like least every person should be given here's a check for $1 million. Okay.
Well, here's the other thing.
Start your life.
Listen, see,
get some
you're
therapy.
Just thinking about the big picture. Listen,
do some stuff.
People make mistakes.
Make mistakes with my life.
Listen,
the fuck out of here.
I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying it's the truth. Right?
I understand it's the truth, but that is not okay. I'm not
saying it's okay. But
fucking nerd.
There's probably a lot of variables there too. Like clearly that in that particular situation, right? Like he had some, I don't know what his whole case is about. I guess some people, the ones that I'm really like, it sucks, is that like the one where the guy's just walking down the street, minding his own fucking business, but he looks like a guy in the area that fucking just murdered somebody, and then he gets picked up, and then he gets sentenced to like 20 years.
So check this out. True story. That happened to my cousin.
Oh yeah.
So my cousin, the one who not the one from my mom's side of the family, right? Mm-hmm. So this was like, I don't know how, maybe he was in his 20s.
Is this still ongoing? Or no?
No, thank God. But he was in his 20s when this went down. And apparently, I guess someone saw a picture of him. And I guess the picture looked very similar to some murder that was in like a whole different state. So I guess my cousin had so he did get picked up and he got arrested for something else. That's what it was. It was like he got arrested for like, I don't know, some stupid shit.
But then he's in the system, dumb. And the system.
But he's in the system already. So then, while he was at the precinct or whatever, the precinct gets a fax. It's a fax they get with the picture, black and white picture of a guy that's from another state that's murdering people that somehow look like my cousin. So then they don't let my cousin leave, and they're trying to fucking get him on murder charges. Okay. Wow. By the grace of God. Okay. Because this is a situation, honestly, being Hispanic, being a minority, right? Like being like, from the Bronx or from like the hood or wherever, like anything like that, from El Barrio, wherever, like that could have easily stuck with him. Unfortunately, easily stuck with him. Okay. Like this was huge. And by the fucking grace of God, man, my aunt, his mother, she was like, what? And then got involved, got lawyer, blah, blah, the whole nine. And then they fucking realized after going through the picture more and putting things together that it actually wasn't him. But how dare you? I mean, like it's like you could have ruined his like you ruined people's lives.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I get that we make mistakes. I understand that, but in my opinion, I'm sorry, making a mistake that has to do with someone's life and taking that away from that person, that is just not in any way, shape, or form something that to me is okay. Is oh whoops, you made a mistake. Like what?
Whoops. Sorry.
Like it's insane to me. I can go on with the wrongfully convicted all day fucking long because it like really gets me. It gets me. It gets me more than a lot of things actually. That shit doesn't piss you off.
I mean, yeah, but what do you want me? I don't know what to do about it. So I don't. It's not something I contemplate all the time. No, no.
You
Yeah.
know what's interesting? What I'm finding actually is that people obviously, right? And not that I'm like newly finding this, but this just hit me in this moment. People obviously have passions for different things, right? So you know how like people are like really, really connected emotionally to
Mm,
something happening in Ethiopia.
hmm Sure.
I'm that it's not that it's not that I don't care about those things. It just doesn't get like what I am very emotionally passionate about and what can really get me going is talking about someone who was wrongfully convicted and learning about the people who were fucking convicted for murder, life, death penalty sentences for Christ's sake, and then they weren't fucking, and then they didn't do it. That gets me going.
Well, that's your 9. Your like universal sense of like wanting to
But how
like
come I don't
help
really right? But
everybody.
how come the Ethiopia thing doesn't really like that doesn't get me going? I feel saddened and I can definitely
Um.
connect on like oh my god, like that's so unfortunate, it's so sad. But wrongfully convicted, I don't know, it just like
Yeah.
it fucking dry. It like gets me going.
Maybe because your cousin.
No, I just learned about that, but like I've like always been into that, you know, like maybe for the same reason why just mental health and therapy gets me going, you know,
Yeah.
like listening to someone's story, someone's life story, some trauma, you know, like,
Right.
and
Right.
then that shit fucking gets me. Like, how
You get
dare
into the story. Maybe that's it.
maybe, yeah. I mean, I do hear a lot of stories. Maybe it
Like
is because there's so much
if you
background.
heard the Ethiopian child story, like mother
Mm,
raising
mm.
the kid's in the dirt or whatever it is, and
Ah,
like
okay.
like
Oh, just
it's the
talking about it.
story. It's the
Right.
story.
If I heard the story, saw the pictures, connect to the story,
I
saw
mean, but
something.
that's with everybody. That's with everybody, right?
Okay, this makes sense because again, I don't really watch the news at
Yeah,
all, ever. So like all those horrific things that are happening in
yeah.
the world,
You don't follow the
I don't
story that
follow the
they're like
story
pushing
because I'm
out,
like,
injecting in your
it's
brain.
too much. Like it's I just can't, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. But you'll
But
find
because the wrongfully convicted population fits into just what I do for a
right,
living in
right, right,
some
right,
way, I'm connected to that, and that gets me.
right. Or it's like Luigi Min, whatever the fuck his name is. Then you
I was
follow
into
that
that
shit.
too. I was definitely into that. I was like
You're eating up the fucking media.
eating
Whatever
it
the media
up.
was pumping out, you were like, "Rah, rah, rah."
I was in it. I was Googling, searching the whole nine, doing research. Where's this kid come
Yeah.
from? Telling me about his
I think you were
family.
even watching CNN.
It was wild. I was like, tell me everything. Yeah, I know. It's so interesting.
It's the story, but that's what gets everybody, right? So that's why the media has to go into this. They got to find the one immigrant who fucking lost their job and they have 3 kids and it's a fucking single mother, right? Like they find that one person. So then it's like, forget about all the illegal immigrants that are like gang members and shit. You only think about that one woman who's fighting for her 3 children and
I will say
she's not a resident.
when I did see a clip, so I don't really like watching like either like clips of like this. So for example, I've never seen the George Floyd video and I will never see it. There's no way I could watch something like that. I don't watch movies about slavery. You know how right? So there's certain things that I really like just like can't watch and won't watch. But I will tell you, I was on Instagram, this is a while back ago, when Trump was first in presidency, and I watched a clip of like all these and it like just popped up, and I was like, ah, all these children, and they were like at the board, they were like at some border thing, but they wouldn't, but they were being separated from their parents, and it was
Yeah,
like this
yeah,
whole
yeah.
horrific thing, and these kids were like, I can't. That I was like, I have to shut this down right now. I can't watch this. So I
Yep.
think that's just what I do. I think for certain things, I'm like, if I attach too much to this,
Yeah, you could do that with anything
I
if you
think I
choose
really,
to.
yeah, I think I really could, and I do believe I can.
I think everybody can.
Yeah, I just pick and choose what those things are because there are certain things that I'm like, it's a no-go for me.
But
Like
this
I
is,
just can't.
and a lot of the things you have no control over either, right? That you're seeing in the world for the most part, right?
So maybe that's actually another good point. And I think maybe with, let's say, the wrongfully convicted,
Hmm.
like
You feel as though maybe
I
if you could talk to them, you could
well,
help
because
them.
my thing is like I feel like I can actually play a helpful part in that, which is
Right.
why I've tried to contact organizations to become a
Right.
licensed clinician with the organization so I can help these individuals after they get out. So I feel like on that level for that population, I'm like, okay, I feel like I could at some point in my life help, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But like I can't do anything for the people in Ethiopia.
Right.
And that, to be honest, makes me feel 10,000 more times powerless. And I can't do anything about it. And I'm just like, oh, so if I attach to that, and that's so big, like I wouldn't be able to live life. I don't think I would be able to
Right.
live.
And most
I
people don't. They
really
get
don't think I'd be
overwhelmed
able to
with
live.
it. They get
No,
overwhelmed with it. And it's
forget.
like you don't, nobody really, unless you are, I don't know, have billions of dollars and you want to like fly a bunch of food over there or some shit, you know,
Mr.
like
Beast.
Mr. Beast does
Unless
stuff
I
like
was
that.
Mr.
Right,
Beast
right,
who
right.
does stuff like that. Our
Right.
daughter watches his
And
stuff.
even he can't help everybody, but he makes a pretty good impact. I
He
think
for
with the
damn
things
well
he does.
tries, that guy. He built 100 houses for these, for families in, different parts of the world that came from nothing, had dirt, nothing.
He's done it a couple of times. I think that he did it in like Brazil or something where their houses got
Yeah,
destroyed by
I
like
mean, like,
hurricanes
and
or
this is
something.
what that to me is so amazing. Like, you
Yeah, that's
have the
great.
money, you have the money. That's the shit I would do. Like, if I had the money like that, absolutely. What else would I be doing?
Right. All right. Listen.
All right, we have to go.
Since we like basically got shut down for like freaking 10 minutes
Mhm.
and we'll just jam in this really fucking important gem, just like the JFK shit. I mean, with the JFK shit, we could talk about like a whole fucking podcast, obviously.
That was crazy because again, I mean, it had Biden's name and family and
yeah.
apparently traitors.
That's
and
one of
here
the
we are
lowest thing.
now,
Really,
and,
the main thing that came out of these documents was that the CIA was clearly involved in the assassination.
which is
Yeah. So, and then there were also other documents stating how, like warning JFK, like as he was coming into office, that the CIA is like too powerful. It's going rogue. We need to be careful of it. Blah 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 blah. But anyways, the other important thing that came out this week, which was, I think,
this is
honestly,
really
this
crazy.
is,
It's insane.
it's probably the most important news that you probably never heard.
You have no idea. No one's
Right?
talking about it. It needs to be talked about. It's fascinating.
And we're gonna spend about 5 minutes on it, but don't worry about it. It's like you guys can go do all your own research, I guess. But so recently at the pyramids, they found underground like monstrosities, like these. There's like 8 tubes that are humongous and like literally the depth of like the size of the Empire State Building.
Truly.
Underneath the pyramid that connect to other huge like housings or whatever further down. So
a pyramid, let's be clear, guys. They found what he just said underneath the pyramids in Egypt, right? When we were, because again, the story about the pyramids, first, let's just to refresh everyone's memory.
Story about the pyramids? We only got 5 minutes here.
Story about the pyramids, really briefly, and I don't know much of it, but apparently they were built by slaves, right?
Oh,
like
yeah. So
slaves carried all this.
The common theory, I guess, or the what people say is how they built the pyramids, which we've never been able to recreate the pyramids, by the way.
Right. But there's pictures and history books in school and all this stuff about men carrying all these things, sweating, dying.
Right. That's what you learn in the history
That's
books.
what we learned. I've seen the pictures. I remember the pictures in those stupid history books.
But they've already proven that you can't fucking move those fucking big ass stones. They're like hundreds of tons, right? Anyways, so even if they could, this debunks all of that. Like, fine. Maybe you got freaking 100 million slaves to fucking drag stones miles away and fucking put them on top of each other. Maybe. But you didn't get them to dig an Empire State Building down 8 fucking times and then build a whole elaborate system underneath the pyramids that connect all the pyramids fucking 5,000 years ago.
With what? With what? Right. With what tools? What are you using?
That story is out the window. And let's play this video.
Play it. So
this guy is well known within the archaeologist community, and he is explaining what they found with LiDAR, and it's basically ground penetrating radar. Oh my god.
Technology that was first developed by Filippo Biondi and Corrado Malanga.
He's talking about the
aperture radar Doppler
the radar technology.
So this was used to explore the internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza. And this method leverages the analysis of micro movements typically generated by background seismic activity to achieve a high resolution full 3D tomographic imagery of the pyramid's interior and subsurface components.
By the way, they've used this technology in the Amazon just recently as well, and they're finding all kinds of other pyramids actually in the Amazon with this technology. It's going through the trees, going into the ground. Here we go.
Recent findings from deploying this technology are nothing short of mind-blowing, because what's been discovered is that there are huge structures coming down from the base of the pyramid deep into the bedrock, in fact over 600 meters deep, which then connects to structures that extend up to 2 kilometers below the surface of the ground. 2 kilometers, massive internal structures connected to the base of the pyramid and
if you're not watching, it's basically 8 huge cylindrical tubes, probably the size of like buildings, right? Coming down with spiral, it looks like almost like a springs, but it might be a spiral staircase going around the buildings. And then they go down into other buildings that are another 2 kilometers underneath those tubes.
Guys.
Extending deep down. This is what we know so far. Utilizing high-resolution radar images from Capella Space and Umbra, which are 2 private companies that specialize in satellite-based synthetic aperture radar imaging. This has allowed researchers to create a 3D model of the internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Now, this model has revealed a previously unknown chamber with 5 horizontal levels and a sloping roof, which in of itself is an architectural design unlike any previously documented in the Giza Pyramid. But the most shocking discovery lies beneath the surface. Below ground level, radar tomography has identified vertical cylindrical structures extending for hundreds of meters beneath the pyramid. There are 8 of these cylindrical wells arranged in 2 parallel rows, descending to an astonishing depth of 648 meters. Insane. Even more intriguing, at the base of these structures are 2 massive cubic formations measuring approximately 80 meters in diameter. The tomographic data suggests that these are vertical wells with intricate spiral pathways. Now,
I mean,
so this is just like absolutely like bananas.
The reason why it's so crazy, like somebody can look at this and be like, wow, I didn't realize that was under there. But when you start thinking about the narrative that
Think
has
about
been
it.
explained to you throughout history, the high school
Your
or
whole
whatever,
life,
your
right?
whole
Your whole
life,
education,
everything
everything that
is
you knew.
bullshit. It's
Yeah.
all bullshit because tell me how slaves made those. Or tell me how a human made that 5,000 years ago when
Without any, what were they using? They're using their hands?
Right.
Just their bare hands?
Shovels? I don't think so.
Doesn't seem like it. So what does this all mean? I can't even think. It's so mind-boggling.
It's like
It's
the
like,
biggest
ugh.
truth unfold in history is what it is. It's the very beginning of some crazy shit. We're going to find out what the pyramids were really for. They were not for fucking putting pharaohs in after they die.
It wasn't just for
I think that that's what they did many, many years after these things had been built,
Mhm.
because maybe they through just ancestry just
No, but
found out
again,
that there was some
understand
special
something is
powers in
no,
there
but understand that I think at the end of the day, so if the pyramids were actually really built for something else, right?
for dead pharaohs.
For something else.
Oh, something else. You're saying, okay, if they were
If they
actually
were
built for
actually
like as a
built for
machine,
something else,
right?
Okay, and clearly nobody wanted that something else to get out, then a great cover-up
Right. That's another part
is
of this,
just
right?
that. Oh, we put the pharaohs in there and the dead bodies, blah blah blah. Because who else would who would question that? Like
Yeah,
you're
they're
thinking, oh,
finding-
it's Egypt, it's it's their history,
They're
it's their
finding
culture,
the
it's
dead
what they're
kings
doing.
and
They're
they're-
right, and then they're
They're like, oh,
finding
okay.
them right.
Yeah.
So it's like it makes sense, but then you're like, hold up. So there's a whole other world going on underneath that pyramid. What is happening? Then they're connecting it to other pyramids. What's going on?
There's tunnels
have
connecting
tunnels.
to the other pyramids.
There's tunnels. What's happening? This is more than just putting dead bodies.
Yeah, is it a machine? Is it some sort of thing that like is it a receiver? Or is it does it God, I don't know.
I can't
Maybe
even
it
think-
could
I
have
can't
been like
even think-
hydrogen energy that powered the world.
But
I don't fucking know.
What's even crazier? What's even crazier about this is that this was back in when, again, I want to be clear.
Over
Give me the
5,000
exact-
years ago.
Over 5,000 years ago. That's what?
let's
Give me the exact, so I can really put a number, put a date to
hold
this.
on, let's
really blow my mind.
Yeah, we'll ask ChatGPT real quick.
When was the Pyramid of Giza built?
Yep, computer's going slow still.
Yeah, type all that in.
Yeah. I'm gonna spell it wrong.
I feel like it's G. Is it Giza or Gyza?
I don't know. It'll figure it out. Yeah, it's definitely spelled wrong.
Okay, we're talking BCE. We're talking around.
Hold on. Let me. How many years ago? 4,600 years ago.
So that's 220.
Don't even say that. Who gives a fuck about that?
580.
No, just say 4,600 years
isn't
ago.
BC before Christ, right?
Dude, this is like before that shit.
It's before Christ.
Christ went to Egypt. He lived there and supposedly learned some techniques from them.
Now, what does the E stand for?
I've never even seen that. So but it's 4,600 years ago from today.
I still can't even concept that. It's so big.
So 100 years ago was 1900, and then the 1800s and 1700s. Basically we were in the 1600s or whatever. That's 16 to 1700s. That's when we were kind of coming to the United States over here.
Again, when was Christ put on the cross? What's the story of that?
Dude, you got me on the fucking spot. I'm not religious. It's whatever. Before, we're in after Christ right now. So
Right.
That's 2000, 25 years ago.
So this is right. That's what I'm saying. So this is before even Christ. This is like
It was before his thing, way before his thing.
This is what it's just like. It's so far, and it's that it's so crazy. It's like my mind can't really wrap.
Yeah, but if you think about it like this, right? If you think about it in the time span of like the universe and our Earth and stuff, and like say dinosaurs and shit, that's like literally yesterday. It's like nothing. 5,000 years ago was like
and
nothing.
when were dinosaurs around? That's right.
Millions of years ago.
Dinosaurs were millions of years ago.
Yes.
Okay. Damn.
But that means the Earth was like a stable place for animals to live and stuff like that, right? That long ago. So think about the time period in between there, right? Between dinosaurs and now, there was like, or dinosaurs in like 4,600 years ago, there was a whole thousands and millions of years. What happened then? Was there like a great event that like destroyed everything, but then like people that survived and then they rebuilt? We could have had civilizations that were like far more technologically
far more
advanced than we are, but then it just maybe all got destroyed, and then we kind of rebuilt things and we're relearning things. But I don't know. I'm following this thing, and it's gonna be an interesting ride. And I don't know what those fucking archaeologists that have been saying that fucking slaves built the pyramids are gonna say about this.
Right.
But they're gonna do a whole what's it called? Like a meeting thing. Why do I blank out on like words?
Sometimes I
like
blank out too.
dumb fucking
like
shit.
easy ones.
Yeah. Like
sometimes I do too.
it's a conference, like next week, with all the findings and all the scientists that were involved in finding all this stuff. So they're gonna do a whole thing, and when that comes out, that's gonna probably give more detail of what's going on then. I don't even know if they're even going to be allowed to dig there like that. Why would they stop that? Why would they prevent them?
What's even crazier is the footage that I've seen with my own eyes of like all the things that they have found from Egypt from those times, like the paintings, all of this, all of that. And you're looking at it going, how did you, with no tool, no nothing, create this?
Like laser sketching and shit.
Yeah. How did you create this? My mind's blown. We have to wrap up.
Yeah, like
we have to wrap up.
See, this is what I'm saying. It's like
we have to wrap.
We got to do a whole episode on this and JFK and whatever. But
my God,
that's what we got.
Wrongfully convicted. Everything. I can go on.
We've already done a wrongfully convicted episode before. The whole episode, I think.
We probably did because I could talk about that for a long time.
Yeah, we definitely have. But
we did because I mentioned Khalif Browder, who I'll mention again. Very important story to know about. Khalif Browder, I think he was from the Bronx or from Brooklyn in New York, got just like, that was carrying a book bag, and he's black, and then got arrested. And in the book bag, there was a laptop. Listen, this is over a laptop.
We gotta go. Are you you're like going into this shit? We clearly already talked about this.
They take this kid into custody.
Just go back. We'll tell you that episode.
All he needed was he needed, I think it was $100 or $200 to get bailed out, but his family didn't have it, which ended up with him staying at Rikers. They kept him at Rikers. This kid got severely abused, beaten, everything. The story's horrific, you guys.
Gotta cut her hair.
I'm sorry. The story is horrific. Look it up. It's on Netflix. The Khalif Browder story. Watch it.
We're just gonna change this show's name to ADD.
That gets me going. All right.
Welcome to ADD episode 100.
All right, everyone. Have a great Saturday. Have a good night. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Sorry for the glitch.
Sorry for the delay. Yeah, well, the delay.
I'm going to chop it up. You probably won't really notice it, at least on the audio section.
Right. The video, you'll see a huge blackout. I don't know if you'll still hear us or not.
It's literally like everything went black. Like, fuck.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.